Beer here back in the Fantasy Bar. Monday is here. Little 6-game slate for us, and we've narrowed it down to 6 of my favorite plays, including a couple stacks we will get started for you on tonight's slate. Starting pitcher looks like chalk with 3 guys going to take up the majority of the ownership. We'll look to get different there with a guy with some big-time upside in a good matchup. And, of course, my favorite play on the entire slate, who's been red hot over the last month. Who we talking about? Only one way to find out. It's time to belly up to the Fantasy Bar. Welcome in, guys. Monday edition, Beer's Daily Fantasy 6-pack. Hope everybody had a great weekend, and we are back with 6 of my favorite plays for you on FanDuel and DraftKings for the Monday night slate. Thank you, as always, for taking some time and stopping by the Fantasy Bar. Before we get into the Monday night plays, do me a favor. Take a second, click that thumbs up button. Really helps us out on YouTube, so thank you for that. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the content. All right, let's get into it. Weather does not look like an issue tonight. If we do have to make any changes, we will do so in that YouTube comment section. Let's get rolling with some bats, and let's spend up here to start up with Fernando Tatis Jr. of the Padres. So Tatis riding a 15-game hitting streak coming into tonight. That includes 6 multi-hit games from him and 4 home runs. So been very productive here of late. Been very good against righties. 373 WOBA, 222 ISO, but has really turned it up over the last month, which is a big part of that hitting streak. 434 the WOBA, and the ISO ticks up to 239. Now, Estes, the surface numbers look good for him. Nothing alarming, but that power mix is what we are looking at here for Fernando Tatis Jr. 35% fly ball rate and a big 48% hard contact rate. And Tatis stays hot here tonight against Mr. Estes. All right, let's stack the Padres here with another piece. We're rolling with Jerks and Profar. Profar, another Padres bat, swinging a good stick right now. 5 multi-hit games for him over the last 12, and a couple home runs here recently as well. 2 over the last 3 games here. Been good against righties. At WOBA way up at 397 on the season. We talk about Estes against righties, but against lefties, definitely vulnerable to some power. 263 the ISO allowed this season, and giving up a ton of hard contact at 63%. Padres, one of my favorite stacks here for Monday night. All right, let's stick with the bats here next with Alex Bregman of the Astros. We got to keep an eye on Bregman's status here, listed as day-to-day, but what that does is it lowers ownership. A lot of people don't want to be switching out guys later at night. This is a late game, so we should see very low ownership on this one. If we do have to make some changes, we will do so, like I mentioned in that comment section. Now, slow start to the year for Bregman. We know he's hit lefties well over the course of his career and starting to turn it up here over the last month. ISO sitting up at 235. Harrison, 345 WOBA, allowed 2 right-handed hitters and gives up that power mix that we are looking for. 2 right-handed bats, 35% fly ball rate, and a big 51% hard contact rate. If Bregman is in that lineup, should be in your lineups here on Monday night as well. All right, starting pitcher. Looks like a lot of chalk, so we'll want to get different here with Eric Fetty of the White Sox. If you're playing cash games, Dylan Cease, Gilbert, Paddock, guys you certainly want to lock in. But GPPs, I think Fetty the way to look here. The strikeouts have certainly been there for him. We need a guy that can compete with a Dylan Cease, who we know can rack up strikeouts. Fetty, 6 or more strikeouts now in 4 of the last 5 starts, and has shown upside to get into double-digit strikeouts here. And this is the best matchup you can ask for as a right-handed pitcher. Seattle striking out at nearly 28% against righties. Look at some of the other stats. Bottom 10 in the league in WOBA, batting average, and ISO allowed as well. I know the road games have been an Achilles heel here for Eric Fetty, but I love the strikeout upside. I love the matchup here with Seattle, and I love the ownership we're seeing here. Eric Fetty, nice pivot in GPPs off of that starting pitcher chalk. All right, let's go back to the bats here and knock out our catcher spot with Salvador Perez of the Royals. So Perez been kind of quiet of late. What does that do? Should keep the ownership down, whether you're going to include him in a Royals stack or even if you need an upside play at the catcher position as a one-off play. Then Perez playable in a lot of different ways here tonight. 368 WOBA against lefties this season, and over the past month, turning up the power, 227. The ISO over the last 30 days. Rodon been kind of lucky against righties this season. Batting average on balls in play just 247, and that power mix is certainly there, as we know. Vulnerable to the long ball, 37% fly ball rate, 52% hard contact rate. And lastly, this is a pretty solid BVP play as well. Perez, 9 for 20 against Carlos Rodon in his career with a couple home runs. Some people love BVP, some don't. Wanted to include that stat here tonight, as clearly he has thrived in this matchup. All right, it's time to take a look at our favorite play for Monday night. Before we do that, let's continue our Beast of the Night contest. Click that thumbs up button, then head to the comment section and guess fantasy points on DraftKings tonight. For my highest scoring hitter, whoever has the closest guess, we're going to give you a free week of RotoGrinders Premium just for hanging out here in the fantasy. All right, let's wrap it up with my favorite play for Monday night. You know, Master, Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time. I promised you 2 stacks. We gave you the Padres, and we are going to stick with the Royals here with Bobby Witt Jr., tonight's Beast of the Night. Now, Witt Jr. been red hot here, hits in 20 of his last 21 games. Over the last 10, hitting .400 with 11 RBIs, ton of multi-hit games in there, and some home runs as well. Very good power against lefties this season with an ISO at 244, and over the last month, those numbers have really jumped. WOBA up at 475 against lefties over the last 30 days with an ISO way up at 353. We mentioned Carlos Rodon certainly vulnerable to the long ball here. I think Bobby Witt Jr. stays hot in this matchup easily. My favorite play on the board and tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that'll do it for our Monday night six-pack. As always, any comments, questions, or feedback, you know where to find me. Hit me up in that YouTube comment section or on Twitter at Beermakersfan. Don't forget, it's your guess for my highest scoring hitter on DraftKings. Don't even have to try to guess who it is. Just a number. We've made it super easy for you. Whoever's guess is the closest, you're going to win a free week of RotoGrinders Premium. Like and subscribe if you have not already. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salute. Thank you so much for watching. Best of luck tonight, and we will see you right back here tomorrow.
Thanks for checking out our videos. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more DraftKings, FanDuel, and other DFS content. And you can check out our daily live show schedule on RotoGrinders.com/videos.